Hey, Trumplicans, do you realize that by supporting Donald Trump, you're really doing the bidding of Barack Hussein Obama? Mm-mm-mm. By inciting as much right-wing anger as possible, Jonah Goldberg writes in a syndicated column today, Obama helped lay the foundation for Trump mania. Now, many people are to blame for the rise of Donald Trump as a political force, and most of them reside on my side of the aisle. But that story is familiar by now, and we'll be hearing a lot more about it. Should Trump lose, which he will, conservatives will be lucky if the ensuing riot of recriminations falls short of outright civil war. Well, it's already a civil war. We passed that point months ago. Should Trump win, which he won't, I'm hoping to get a tent-up win from the latrine at the re-education camp. Still, not all of the blame belongs inside the conservative family, because the conservative family are just the idiot dupes. Consider Barack Obama. One of the central insights of both the Obama campaign and administration, the difference is subtle but exists nonetheless, is that Obama benefits when his critics overreact. They all know this. In 2008, then political advisor David "The Stash" Axelrod coined the phrase "no drama Obama" to describe not only his client's personality, but his messaging. By seeming unflappable in the face of criticism, Obama comes across as presidential. The more heated the criticism, the more presidential he seems. He isn't, but he seems that way. He's playing a part, in other words. The thing is, Obama often intentionally provokes the conservative base. It's what's known as trolling. As the Washington Post's Paul Waldman put it in January 2015, Obama seems to come up with a new idea every couple of weeks to drive the GOP up a wall. That makes him a master at trolling. For those still not up to speed with the lingo, trolling is an internet term for saying outrageous things in order to elicit an even more outraged response. Is it starting to sound familiar, Trump supporters? Or, as Urban Dictionary defines it, the art of deliberately, cleverly, and secretly pissing people off. Should probably read anonymously pissing people off. We are talking about the internet, after all. For instance, although ideology and policy no doubt play a role in Obama's frequent refusal to use the phrase Islamic terrorism, he also seems to enjoy watching his critics shriek about it. In late 2014, when Obama announced that he was going to unilaterally block the deportation of millions of illegal aliens in the country, the Immigration Proclamation, as I dubbed it at the time, after insisting for years that the Constitution, correctly, wouldn't allow him to do anything of the sort, many writers on the left and the right recognized that at least part of his strategy was to bait Republicans. Obama could have changed the policy quietly without much fanfare. Instead, he sought to incite as much right-wing anger as possible. Tellingly, the White House didn't give the exclusive to Univision or MSNBC, but to Fox News. As liberal writer Bill Scher put it in Politico, Operation Epic Troll was a smashing success. Now, Obama played a similar game with his birth certificate and the whole birther craze. He could have released his birth certificate as early as 2008, when the Mephistophelian Clinton henchman Sid Blumenthal was whispering in reporters' ears. But Obama didn't. for years. Remember how we kept asking the question at the time, why doesn't he just release it and put it to bed? Besides, as I've said many times before, the issue was not where he was born, but whether both of his parents were U.S. citizens at the time of his birth, and his father wasn't, so that should have settled the question right there. It was never about a birth certificate. But the question was asked, well, why doesn't he just release his birth certificate and settle the whole thing once and for all? You know, produce one that says he was born in Hawaii and then just leave birthers going, hummin', 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 hummin'. But of course, they're blind, zealot, true believers, so they would never let go of it. I'm sure Trumplicans know the type. And it was, like I say, Obama didn't release his birth certificate for years, in part because he knew the conspiracy theory would galvanize his base. Oh, and who was one of the biggest pushers of birtherism? Donald J. Trump. It not only confirmed everything liberals wanted to hear about the right, that's the raison d'etre of Trump's candidacy, it also provided Obama with an endless supply of one-liners. And for a long time, that worked well for Obama. He got to mock birthers and play the dignified victim, and, by the way, smear all of conservatives with the birthers' foolishness. Because if you didn't subscribe to birtherism, well, then you're supporting Obama! Does this sound familiar, Trump supporters? Obama chummed the waters for so long he pulled in a great white shark. A man often in error, but never in doubt, with a thumbless grasp of facts and a total willingness to repeat conspiracy theories, rumors, and innuendo as the truth. That's his whole campaign, really. Trump was almost the personification of the collective id of the angrier strata of the Republican base. What have I been saying for months and months and months, ladies and gentlemen? Trump's claim last week that he was doing a public service by ending the issue Mrs. Clinton started was itself a brilliant bit of trollery. He was trying to have it both ways, simultaneously saying that the birther movement was nefarious and illegitimate from the beginning, most especially when he was its biggest proponent, and that he was some kind of statesman for relentlessly pushing the birther story himself. Oh, none of that matters now. Like Obama, Trump exploited birtherism for his own advantage, worming his way as an agent provocateur of the left into the GOP. He saw his crowd of marks and he jumped in with both feet. I used to think that the Democrat financial logic bomb, aka the financial panic of 2008, was the biggest political caper in American history. If Trump mania isn't at least as big, if not bigger, it's at least like 1A and 1B. It really is. I mean, I gotta hand it to the left. They are clearly so much smarter than the right, it isn't even funny. It's pathetic. It's almost as pathetic as the Seattle Seahawks offensive line. It's that bad. I mean, the Republican Party has had the moniker stupid party for years. Boy, when that term was originally applied to the GOP, they had no idea how bad it was going to get. Obama allowed the birther issue to fester in the fever swamps of the right, and now he's facing the real possibility that he will be replaced by the Swamp Thing. Well, no, but he will get something even more valuable. The self-destruction of the right, not just for one election cycle, but forever.